Well, yesterday we see Massachusetts. I think I pronounced it again right. Now we're gonna see Rhode Island. And the first thing I want to look, it's yesterday I forgot to mention, we didn't look that much in detail, but apparently Massachusetts, it's one of those most richest states by household income or something like that, they call it. This one, it has a population of 1.1 million people, so much lower, but the median housing is like $85,000, which is make like 14 of the state. And if we click here, we're gonna see the first one. No, it's actually the second one. I guess the Washington DC, it's state, but fine. Again, if I place some Massachusetts, you're gonna see first rank here. They say in income 99.9. So yeah, but that's not exactly what is concerned us right now. What I'm interested is how those people actually live. So yeah, 1.1 million people, much lower than we see yesterday. But look at the state; it's very small comparing with the rest of the country, obviously. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they live here. I'm interested how they share this land. I mean, how they agree on the border, because it's like, yeah, some of them that are really straight line make kind of sense for the American. I mean, I'm not sure about this guy. He has one neighbor in a state, the other neighbor is in another state, but fine. I guess they have different rules of construction and things like that. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how well they agree on those exactly limits, but fine. Now let's look how they live here in this Rhode Island. Apparently, this is like one of those most richest places in the United States. So again, I have some high expectation. Wow, that's a nice Corvette there. We start strong, I guess. Although in this street, I would say, yeah, probably like a low income, but still doing like great with cars so far. This is what, 2023. House pretty good. I like this yard, very nice. It's a garbage day. I don't know how it's happening, but it seems like they go in those Google Street Views almost every day, every time when it's garbage day, for American at least. I don't know, maybe it's intentional or not, but a Subaru right here. You know what? For the low income, I will assume, comparing with other parts that we saw, it doesn't look so bad. They have a ton of space. I mean, look at this, nice yards. They have a pool there. We can actually improve that. House pretty decent too. Roads pretty good. Wow, somebody making like a burnout here. Look at this. That's a long burnout. What else we have here? Again, those colonial style housing, pretty nice. I mean, like, yeah, if you're living in a place like that, you're not gonna be like the most amazed. Now, especially, we kind of see a few states, so we kind of have an idea how things are going there. But yeah, it's not so bad in the same time. I mean, like, it could be way worse, much worse. I mean, like, probably I'm gonna compare at some point cities or towns with, for example, I don't know, USA against some sort of an African country. So they can actually get traumatized how those actually live there. So probably we're not gonna complain that much. But complaining is good. I am supportive. Like complaining, debate, and they all go kind of hand in hand. Yeah, that's a nice motorcycle there. I mean, it's pretty good. A lot of space, good roads. This is like an intersection from hell. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here, but it's a lot of things going on in the same direction, so I don't think it's gonna have, let's say, less accidents than usual. Yeah, again with the border state here, I don't know, it's like on the one street they're living in one state, on the other state, or it's just like, yeah, that's the border, but we agreed like the administration is gonna be just one state or something like that. I don't know, but it'll be interesting. Now this is like a bit more upper income area, I would say. That's a nice church. Wow, look at this one. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those that many stairs, especially here. It's probably like it's in a winter. We have to clean those stairs regularly, so make sure that nobody's gonna crack their skull. Some sort of a museum here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but looks pretty good. Also, yeah, the housing's the same colonial style. Nice yards, roads. Yeah, they have some repairs. Probably at some point they're gonna repave it. A house for the cars, pretty much. I kind of feels like that, isn't it? Because this is the house when you actually live, and this is where you park your cars, which is fine. It's not inside the house, which I like it. But on the top of the garage, it seems like you have another house, which that would be great. I mean, like if you're like, I don't know, 14, 16 years old and you want to move out from the parents' house for a few years and I can go living in a garage pretty much. That's pretty good. Wow, that's a nice style of the house. Look at this one. Pretty nice. The only thing that bothers me in this situation, wow, that's even better, is those electric lines, those cables. It just doesn't look good at all. Those should be buried and gonna look much more cleaner and better. And those light poles should be something like European style or something like that. And that will look way, way better. And 25 miles an hour speed limit here, I think is too low, especially for the modern cars. I mean, you can go easy 40 here, maybe 35, okay, if you want to be on the safe side. But 25 in 2026 now, it's like way too low. Like 35 should be like a 35, 40 should be the speed limit in this type of situations, the types of streets. Yeah, they keep their gardens very nice, very clean. I'm not sure exactly about those two things here. I mean, like they just pave and stop here, and like, what if it's raining? I have to go to the mud to go on the pavement, or I guess they're using the car so much because like nobody's gonna use the alley, the small alley for the pedestrians when it's raining. Nobody's gonna walk, so I guess they stop there. What else we can see here? Wow, that's a nice house again. Again, those cables that bothers me. Maybe some sort of a law that they don't allow them to bury the cables, which is weird because here in Europe, especially here in the east, in Romania, we kind of go for it right now, especially for the new construction. They all are buried. Nobody's going to those cables above the ground. But here seems like it could be some sort of a law, but I guess they're gonna change that because it's totally safe. It's not any issues, and the electricity is like the most reliable thing. It's just a cable. That's it. If you insulate them well and you don't cut it, you're doing pretty well. Again, I like the house for the cars. I mean, like it seems like they're in New Hampshire, no, New Hampshire, in Rhode Island. It seems like they value the cars the most because they practically build a house for the cars. Here they pave the road. Like I said, at some point probably the other road is gonna be paved. Yeah, looking pretty good. Again, garbage day. Housing, very nice. I like those colors. Yeah, those neutral colors, it's fine, but look at this, how nice that this blue looks like. I mean, like a bit of more colors is not gonna hurt anybody, to be honest. Those yellows ones, not so much. This is more like German style, but the blue one, it looks really nice, I have to say. This one also looks nice here in the front. They managed pretty well. Again, with the 25 speed limit, 25 miles an hour speed limit, it's way, way too low. It's just, you have to step up from that. I mean, like, you cannot live like 20 years ago, let's face it. Cars improved dramatically in the last few decades, so yeah, probably by I don't know, 2030, 2035 they're gonna revisit those laws, and they're gonna increase the speed limits, especially for the electric cars. They're a bit more efficient, I think, or a bit higher speed, around like above 30 miles an hour. So probably they're gonna do that at some point when they have a lot of electric cars, but we will see. Yeah, overall I like this area. I mean, it's a lot to see here. It's like a major town, I will call it, but I don't know, for the American side it would be like the regular ones. For Europeans be like, man, that's a city. It's a pretty big city actually. Here in this clearly lower income area, you can see the land is not that big, the housing they're a bit more jamming together, not that many trees, a lot of cables, a lot of cars on the streets pretty much. You can see it in front of the house. So it looks nice. The appearance of those houses looks nice, but not that nice. And I'm gonna say like, we're gonna buy one of those here. Not sure exactly how much they sell one of those, but I don't know. I will pay like $50,000 for one of those, maybe even lower than that, because first of all, I'm not moving here. It just doesn't have that American feeling that I'm looking for. So yeah, I prefer to live in a lower income state than make some compromises on the land and the lifestyle. Yeah, probably that's a much better choice here, although it's better. Wow, that's a $50,000 property, I would say. Nice land in front, probably nice land in the back. It's a bit of a shade, a tree here. Cables, but again, that could be fixed at some point. I'm not that picky about it. Although, look at those guys here with a Mercedes and a Volkswagen, and I think it's a Buick, if I'm mistaken. that Mercedes, it's a very expensive car, and this is 2021. Wow, they're doing pretty well here. Although, judging by the house, I will not say that much, but that's the meter for the electricity again. See where those cable came from? This is the like electric cables, the I don't know, internet, TV maybe. So all of them can go underground. 100%, I can assure you. I have mine underground on my parents' house, so 100%. I can confirm that. Yeah, the road here not so great, I have to say. He's seen better days, but again, in those northeast part in New England region of the United States, when it's snowing a lot, and they usually do with a lot of salt in the winter and all that things that they spread around to melt the ice and the snow. It's gonna get a huge toll on the road at some point. So yeah, this is probably the main city. Let's check this one because it looks pretty interesting. And where are the high-rising buildings here? I have no idea, to be honest with you, but let's go for the nicest part. This is some sort of a park here, which fortunately enough we don't have a 360 there, but we have some housing here. What it's interesting about the Americans compared with the Europeans, I didn't see that much data, but probably most of the Americans living in an individual single family home, whatever they call it, in a home, in a house. In Europe, you might have some data that's gonna say it's like 50-50, but trust me, it's gonna feel like most of the population living in a big city, usually in the biggest, in the east of Europe, the biggest city in the capital. In the west of the Europe, they kind of spread around a bit. But nothing like Americans. I mean, like Americans, even in like a big city like this one, which I have no idea what it is, probably like the main capital, which is like, where is the United States? The capital is Providence. Even here in the Providence, probably this one it is, I'm not sure. Close to the center of the town, you see like those single family houses. Like in Europe, I'm not gonna see that much. At least not in this way. So that's a huge advantage that, again, Europeans, you will never gonna have that, because the architecture, the layout right now of the city that we have doesn't allow for something like this. So that's why I'm always supporting like those guys moving out, probably. Yeah. In Europe, at least, we need to build new cities, especially in the Eastern Europe. In the Western Europe, they have probably no chance, because they pretty much used all the land that they have there. So probably that's why you're gonna see policy in Western Europe that they push for. Oh, that's a pretty rough area in 2007. Didn't look so great, and now a bit better probably. We're gonna see a lot of policy in Western Europe, which probably you already noticed if you're watching politics close, that they try to move the agriculture outside of the continent. Which is with good and bad. I mean, we talk about agriculture when we make those videos in Africa. You can see like countries with a higher agriculture share of the GDP. Usually they're doing very poor, and the lower the agriculture you have of the ratio of the GDP, you do, the better you're doing. I think the Europeans, especially in the West, they want to prepare for those. I think it's opportunity, but more like a chance to build new cities. So they need land for that. So they're gonna use the farming land for building those new cities, because they don't have that much land available in the first place. And also, I think they're preparing for, by moving the agriculture and all that outside of the continent. Clearly, they're gonna have some clear rules how they import the meat or the vegetables, the fruits. It'll be tested. I don't have to worry about that. But probably they're gonna. Which is gonna be bad for the outside continent, outside people, like especially like South Americans, that they grow the food or they raise it like meats. The problem is gonna be like Europeans is gonna move away from this classic agriculture, so they're gonna start growing the food in the lab more, especially meats, vegetables. We have like right now, I think like for the vegetables we have like farms, vertical farms. Basically, it's like wow, that's a nice house. It's like a warehouse when you actually stack on each other, on top of each other, those. It's not exactly like a bag. It's like more like a tubes. When you put the vegetables there and they grow, they very control environment, humidity, temperature, UV light, all that stuff. So they're growing very fast, and no pesticide, no disease, nothing like that. So they're gonna grow that. They're doing that on the small scales, but at some point they're gonna do it on a bigger scale. And with the meats, they're gonna start preparing in the lab any time right now. So yeah, they moved the agriculture because they see there's no future in the classical one. It just require too much water, too much land, too much danger in a way to lose the crops or the livestock if you have some sort of outbreak there. So yeah, they're gonna move that. So probably the South American countries, they're gonna take some money from the Europeans when they export those foods, but it's not gonna be nearly enough to support them after the Europeans they just completely ditch this style of agriculture. And I think the Americans gonna follow pretty soon the same example because it makes a lot of sense. And especially combined with the reduction in population, that is like the best way you can do things. So yeah, that's why the Western world still stay on top. I would say it's more versatile in this chapter. I would say in agriculture. Yeah, there's a lot of people that they don't like it because the problem it is, yeah, they take their farmers' works away, and at the same time they don't replace it with someone else for them. That's the problem. Because if they replace them, let's say with a paycheck every month, that let's say you don't have to do nothing, just existing, for example, and we provide everything for you because we moved away your job pretty much, move away overseas. There'll be no problems, no protest, no protest, something like that, or anything like that. But they didn't do that, so yeah, that's why we have this chaos in the streets, I would call it. Wow, that's an interesting house in the end of the road right here. Okay, we talk about too much Europeans. That's the future, I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna see in the United States pretty soon that too, because it makes sense. It's gonna be the food way cheaper and way better. So yeah, it's like it makes sense for everybody. It's gonna be a transition period that it's not gonna be easy, but the shorter that transition it is, the better it's gonna be for the rest of us. So now, here in the main city again, like I said, they have a lot of individual houses, which is good. This is clearly a much lower income area, judging by the fences here. Somehow in the low income area you have fences. I don't know, probably are afraid that people are stealing your stuff. And in the higher one, you don't gonna bother with that. They have everything. Almost everyone, or it's not everyone, but a few of them. They have those pools above the ground. I guess it's the first stage. This one it's a regular pool, so I guess it's a bit more richer than the rest of the neighbors. We have some sort of front lake water property here, which is not so bad at all. And have like also with the garbage is gonna be some interesting things because they're gonna start recycle everything those days. So I assuming at some point even that is gonna be free because actually they make money with your trash. So yeah, especially with this trash, you can make a lot of money with those. If you recycle the glass, probably that's a wood frame. I mean, like you don't need to buy or to pay for someone to take it away. It's just they come and take it away for free. And you're gonna have much cleaner streets and much cleaner neighborhoods. That looks pretty interesting. Wow, that's an interesting. I mean, look at those fences. That's a nice green fence. That's how it's supposed to be. If you want a fence, that's how it's supposed to be. Or something like this, no fence at all. Depends how you like it. Yeah, overall American style of living, it's way better than Europeans, I would say. Yeah, there are some car dependency here, I would say. They say they're always gonna be bad and all that stuff. Yeah, but it's more like the population that it's a bit too high and too concentrated in some area, and that's why you have these problems. Otherwise, I don't think we're gonna have that. You're gonna have that much of the issue there. A lot of things happening here. Let's go on those islands. I mean, one of the small ones. What you can find here. A bit spread around the population, as you can see. So they have probably like good roads. I'm not sure. Okay, it's like no roads whatsoever. It's just like this is from 2021. A dirt road. That's a Subaru, by the way. But it looks nice. It looks very British, I would say. It looks like an England countryside to me. Unfortunately, the quality of those street views not so great. But here they have pavement, which is looking pretty good. Yeah, it feels like England, for God's sake, for some reason. Like very England. Very England to me. I'm not sure exactly if people are actually living in this house or they are for a vacation, like a second house or something like that, or rental, who knows. Americans likes to rent a lot. But it looks very British to me, I have to say. It looks very British, which is nice. It's pretty good. But I don't think I would like to live in a place. I mean, like, it feels a bit too isolated. I mean, like, especially for when you're young. When you're old, yeah, we're over 60, and you are retired. That makes sense. I mean, like those guys, yeah, probably makes sense for them here. But the rest of us, not so great, I would say. But it's looking pretty good. I mean, if you want to have like a Europe close to USA, that's probably the closer you can get. Yeah, nice beach here. Well, unfortunately, they're kind of allowed to build a bit closer than I would like to see in some areas. I mean, like, this one is good. But this one, way too close. It's just not that whole of the space, I would say. The rich guys, we can see a lot of land with big houses, and the new construction type of construction, you can see that they jamming everyone together here. It looks much worse. So I will not approve, to be honest, a project like that if I was working in a city. It just doesn't make any sense for everyone. And first of all, I will not buy it in the first place. Like, yeah, you build it if they allow to you, but the real, let's say, fine, we can call it. If you're like, they're gonna tax you. The consumer is gonna tax you by not buying the property, paying for the property. So that's gonna be like the ultimate, I would say, troll at some point. It's just, yeah, you build it, but nobody's buy it because like you build trash pretty much. So yeah, overall here not so bad on those islands, but again, I mean, I'm living in those islands. I mean, they have some sort of an airport, I guess. I assuming at least. I'm not sure, but I don't think they just go with a boat. They have some cars here from what I saw. I mean, like, if you're going just for the boat, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm not gonna live here. It's gonna be much harder to live in a place like that. But they have an island. In the Rhode Island, they have an island. And those small ones here. Let's check this one. Yeah, overall I like it. Even here, not my favorite, 100%. I don't know. By now, probably the favorite one is gonna be like Massachusetts so far, and Maine, because they have kind of a bit of everything, which is good. But yeah, overall, so far not so bad. Every single one of those doesn't look so bad at all. Wow, we have some 3D houses here. 2012, wow, quite a while ago, and still pretty good looking, I have to say. A bit more white space that I would like to see. I mean, like, if you have again some trees here on the road, it's gonna look much better. The housing, pretty good. Cars for 2012, pretty good. Roads, pretty decent. 2023, much better now. Even the roads got better. It looks nice. It looks nice. I mean, I can imagine born and living in a place like that. That's an Audi A7 or an S7 or an RS7, judging by the exhaust, but very expensive car. Probably like 100 grand there. And this is what, 2023? This Hyundai E30 probably. No, it's Elantra, they call it here. In Europe, I think they call it E30. Much better buy than that Audi, 100%. It's just much more reliable, much easier to work on, much cheaper, much fuel efficient, much fun at some point, because that Audi is just gonna step on the throttle and like in 2 seconds you're gonna be in jail pretty much. Especially in the American way. They have like, I don't know, radars every kilometers, every mile on the highway, I guess. But with that Hyundai, you just can have a lot of fun, especially if you have like a manual transmission. I know for the Americans, they don't like that much manuals, but wow, that's a really nice shot here with the sunset and everything. This is again July 2024, 2023. Yeah, and the small fence here and a bit more privacy I would like to see with some trees or some plants here, but yeah, that could be fixed pretty easy. Overall, yeah, looking pretty good, and that's kind of the main road there, and they probably don't have that much traffic. So yeah, planting even more plants there is gonna improve the acoustic much better. Here, probably in the more low income areas, as you can see, although they kind of have some really expensive car for some reason. I mean, like, probably it's like more expensive than the house. If it's not, maybe you should move out in a place that you can afford an actually nice house, because for God's sake, this is America. But some of them probably they like this lifestyle. Me personally, I will not like it that much. They have some solar panels here that they use, and now in a more regular way of living in the United States in a actually proper house. That's way better. I mean, like, it's clearly in a higher income area. Looking much better. They have new pavement here. They have like nice houses. They have like these 2 cars. And this is what, 2023. And 2012, wow, they have, even back then, they're doing pretty well. But you can see much open area here. I really need some plants here. It's very interesting if you can actually see in a different year. Unfortunately, we cannot go there. Yeah, I like it. This area is more American. It's more American. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. But again, they kind of need some trees there too. Here, the same story. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Very expensive cars here for some reason. The house looking pretty good too, but I don't know. Feels like much more expensive car than a house, to be honest, but who knows? I don't know exactly the real estate market here. What else can we see about Rhode Island? Overall, like I say, I like it. It's not bad at all. It's clearly fits the American type that I'm looking for. It's the American lifestyle. A lot of land, big house usually. Wow, look at this land. How much time they spend like cutting the grass here, mowing the grass. Wow, that's insane. But it's a very nice house. I mean, like, that's a nice land with a nice house on it. And I don't think we see cables. Did you see cables? I don't see cables here. No, those on the road, but going to the house, I don't see it. So probably that one is buried. That's pretty good. See, pretty good. Yeah, overall they're doing great here. It's something that you can be jealous. That's like some sort of a lighthouse, I guess, but I don't know. Looking pretty good, yeah. Nothing to... Hopefully we not go outside the state. Let me check the border again, because like I said, they have like weird borders at some point, but even here it's still Rhode Island. This one, I assuming that they don't have that recently street views, but let's see it. Yeah, 2012, not that recently. But look at this, how nice it is here. See, open space. I'm looking for, like I say, we're gonna have like everything for free pretty much, but for that, need a dropping in population. The development in the technology department is gonna be made pretty soon, but the main issue still remains the population. So yeah, what else can you find here? Well, we check the major city, but oh, this is like the high areas with the high buildings. Oh, I don't think so. But if it is, it's not that high. But let's check them anyway. What else? Wow, this is 2018 and the quality is not so great. I mean, this is not made by Google 100%. But yeah, it's pretty low quality. Let's check another one. Maybe this here on the highway. Yeah, that's better. And this is 2025, very recently. Yeah, not a big fan of those huge cities. Like I said, this one doesn't seem too well to me. Have a bus, school bus there. The more open areas is clearly more American. And look at this, that close to that area, you can have something like this. I mean, still individual housing, but in a much, let's say, restricted environment. But some of them, they're doing pretty well with the land that they have. So I assuming that, judging especially by those cars, this is a really expensive area. I don't think it's gonna be cheap to stay here, unless you have like, you bought your house like 50 years ago. But yeah, overall, it's still, you can have that chance, at least opportunities, I don't know, that you could have actually an individual house in the proximity of the city, in the center of the city, which is good. Oh, that's very German here. I want to check this one. Okay, this is the garage there. Yeah, not that much space, obviously, but it's still way better than the European's apartment, for example. I mean, like, it's not even close. The only problem that they have United States is the growing population and migration, and the growing population from the migration, obviously, because the native population, probably they start going down by now. It's kind of hiding the data. So yeah, the Americans, when I say the native population, not the native Americans, the native population of the Americans, probably they're already going down, but they kind of get replaced by migration, which is kind of fucked up in my opinion, but it is what it is. I guess they have to fight for that. So yeah, if they didn't have that much migration, I mean, I have like over 1 million people a year, which is insane. Legal, at least. Probably legal is like even more than that. Double it, triple, who knows the numbers. So probably if they limit the really good migration, I mean like 100,000 people per year, which is like most of them from the European part, that would be like a significant drop in prices of the homes. And with time, pretty soon, people are not gonna see home as an investment. That's the main reason that they're going up in price. Because you can fix the legislation, the bureaucracy, you can fix the materials of construction, you can fix all of that. But if people look at them as investment opportunities, then yeah, you're gonna have a hard time selling that. Look at those trees here. Look at how small they are. See here in 2012, and then it doesn't look that appealing. But now in 2024, 12 years later, how nice it looks like. See, trees improve a lot of the aesthetic of the neighborhood. So it looks way better. This one actually is looking pretty good. I mean, like they have like a, what is the house? It feels like half of the house, more than half of the house is like for cars. Yeah, not that much land here, unfortunately, for most of them. Probably some they're doing a bit better, others a bit worse. But yeah, not that much land in this area. But this one close to them, and judging by those houses with pool, that's a much different conversation. Okay, look how much land they have here. Probably, again, the cars doesn't seem to be that much expensive than the one that we saw earlier in that one. But the lifestyle, it's clearly much better. I mean, look at those lands, how airy, how great it is. Probably gonna pay double for something like that, if not even more than that, but it's clearly worth it. I mean, like, look at them. I mean, those guys with a pool here and the nice small fences, looking great. Yeah, close to the fire station. I mean, like, you cannot burn your house. Probably like have like low insurance for fire hazard or something like that when you live that close to the fire. So fire department, I mean, like, you should have some advantages, right? And this seems like gonna be the end of the road here. Yeah, so I guess they have even some opportunities to sell some plots of land so I can actually build better than those guys. Clearly this is a developer. This is how by the way, this is how a developer builds, even here in Europe. As a developer, that's the individual, that's the individual owner that builds their own house. See, way better. That's why I'm saying that we need to make those houses somehow DIY, so you can actually build yourself the house, not require any skills or any expensive tools or too much time. So you can actually have a house that you actually enjoy and want to live in a very low price compared with whatever they develop, because the developers just make them for money. They don't give a fuck about who lives there. They don't give a fuck about that much about the warranty at some point and how you build a house. They just say, yeah, the owner is going to improve it. It's going to change the plumbing at some point. They're going to change the electric system. They're going to change the HVAC system. They're going to change the windows, the roof. I mean, like, what exactly are you buying for? So make it right in the first place, in my opinion. And that's going to be the future. You just have to ask for it at some point. And don't buy bullshit like this. It just doesn't feel right to me. Here in the more richer area, I guess, right? Yeah, looking pretty good. Look at this, wide streets, a lot of trees, a lot of vegetation, nice housing. We see a few pools from above, so yeah, they're doing very well. Cars here, wow, it's 2025, and I would not say that like an expensive area, expensive neighborhood, judging by the cars. But who knows, maybe most of them they're not home. But yeah, they're looking pretty good. I mean, like, we see more expensive car in the low income area for some reason compared with the low income area by the way they look. Here it looks like a very rich area. But judging by the car, this is 2011, okay, doesn't count that much. But judging by the cars, they seem to do much better than the other guys. So yeah, how about that, huh? How about that? I mean, like, clearly I will buy a house if I can here, right? Something like that. I mean, look at those trees, for God's sake. I feel like I'm living in a forest compared with what we saw. This one has like a Japanese style to me, feeling. Japanese modern, not exactly American. This one, yeah, that's much better. That's one, except the garage. That's a much better house. I mean, yeah, they look better. And this is one 2025. Yeah, there's some expensive car each and there, but it's a much better place to live. For some reason, Americans, I think in Florida, they start asking the question. I'm not sure exactly where they got with that. Why exactly we should pay property taxes? We already bought the house. Every time we buy something for the house, you pay taxes on whatever you bought. Why are you supposed to buy a property? You're supposed to pay a property tax every year. Like, that's insane. I mean, like, it's your house. You're not paying rent in your own house, and it's yours, for God's sake. So yeah, I think we start seeing that move in that direction. It makes no sense to pay taxes on anything that you already own. Even it's a car, it's a house, or whatever it is. It's yours. You already bought. You pay taxes when you bought the thing in the first place. You don't need to pay taxes every year, every month, every day, every decade. I don't care. You're not supposed to pay any taxes or anything that you already bought. Can you imagine, like, for example, the company that, say the Mazda in this case, gonna come to you in 10 years and say, hey, you owe us a tax of, I don't know, like $15 per year because you own our car. It's like, that's so stupid. I already bought the car. I don't need to pay you shit. But I guess the government didn't get that memo yet. But it seems to like they have some movement in that direction, which is good because like everyone agrees. I mean, like, how idiot can you be to not agree on something like that? Yeah, you support the government with taxes, but you pay taxes on anything that you buy. If you buy a car, you pay like, I don't know, the added tax. Like here in Europe, we have like VAT, valuable added tax, which like my country is like 21% right now, which is insane. Why I supposed to pay like every year a tax on the car? Why I supposed to pay every year tax on the house or on the land? I already bought the land, and when I bought the land, I pay a tax because I bought the land. When I bought the house, I pay a tax because I bought the house. And if I improve the house, if I build the house myself, every time I buy a window, every time I buy a door, a roof, an electrical system, everything I touch from the store, and I have the nails, everything that I buy, I pay a tax on every single item. So why the fuck we supposed to pay taxes every year for something that we own, something that we already bought in the first place? That's insane. I don't care if you have like 10 properties. You pay taxes on all of them when you buy them or when you build them. You don't need to charge people every single year. And I'm glad to see that in Florida they're moving on that direction, and hopefully it's gonna make some, I don't know, this kind of the common sense, like how we allow it so much to pay that much. Oh, this guy has some bad accident here. Why we allow it that much to happen, to pay so much taxes for so long, for pretty much nothing, which is not even that a huge amount in some areas. In others, it's a very significant one. So yeah, this is a Volkswagen Touareg, I assuming, and it got pretty fucked up. This headlight is gonna be like at least $2,000. Bumper probably like 700 or 800. The fender, I don't know, 300-400, something like that, plus labor. And God knows what damage was in a geometry department of the wheel. So yeah, that's gonna be a really expensive repairs right there. Hopefully it has insurance, but even that's still gonna be expensive. Probably the next time it's gonna insure the car. So yeah, not a good way. Overall, here it feels like you're living in a forest. I mean, like, we can make those videos as long as we want to be. At some point, I mean, like, I can stay here like 4 hours and make like a live stream and make these videos because it's a lot to see. It's a lot of things that I enjoyed. So yeah, Rhode Island in some areas, especially this one, looked much better. This is how the individual builds a house, and we saw what the developer does. So yeah, that was the individual. This one, I'm not sure exactly it's a developer, probably not so much, but we saw the development area, like, where was it? Just a second, you can see it immediately. You don't have to search too much for those. This one, it's, oh, this one. Yeah, I think this one was built by developer. Oh, look at those pools now, that's pretty good. Still looking pretty good. No, I don't think like it's the developer this one. What it was that? I think like it's, yeah, you find it quickly, but cannot find it right now. We saw the neighborhood that was built. Where was it? Okay, you got the idea anyway. We saw it when we checked them. So yeah, we can see the differences between how a developer builds its project, I would call it, yeah, because it is his project when he builds those things, and clearly takes some improvement from the city and how the individual builds. Wow, those houses pretty nice here, like very German style, but like an apartment building, so it doesn't count that much. But and they need more trees there. It didn't look that appealing in the first place, but overall pretty decent. Wow, I kind of upset I cannot find that. We just in the development area, but yeah, it's a huge difference between how some areas got built and others by the individual. Looks a ton better than everything that they have. So yeah, it's clear a difference how an individual builds something and how a developer usually, again, not all the time obviously, but usually very standardized, very bleach, very monochrome, nothing that appeals to individuals. So you have to buy the house and then have to personalize it. I think we see enough on the Rhode Island. Overall, I like it. We see those nice areas there that they probably, I don't know if it's the most expensive area to live, but seems to do pretty expensive the way they look. They're doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well there. I didn't expect anything less than that. Yeah, there are some not so great area, others looking absolutely like paradise. But overall, again, they're doing better than Europeans. Once again, they so far so good in this region. We see pretty much New England so far. They're doing very well. And doing very well. Not everybody again, but probably like in the next 25 years, we're gonna see kind of everybody's doing okay. So yeah, I think that's the video. I don't think I have to drag it much longer than this. Small states, Northeast region, New England region, pretty rich, pretty good looking. Overall, yeah, if you're thinking moving in a place like this, it's not a bad start, I guess. It's pretty good. And the New York, it's very close here. Very close. It's pretty close. But yeah, this is a region, it's an entirely different thing. Then we have like the entire country to check. I mean, like, look at this, how big it is, and there is a lot to check. So yeah, check the videos that I make, and see you next time.